Hello everyone and welcome to yet another live coding and chill. It's Bonus XP. Today we'll be finishing up our full stack quiz app, frontend quiz app rather, which you can already go and play if you'd like. We've done 2 streams on this and this will most likely be the last. I won't be doing any more, even if I do some work offline to make it even better. Probably change the questions because I didn't like the questions that much. But without further ado, this is what we've been building. You can select one of these 4 categories of tests. You can go, you can answer what the CSS stands for, and it is cascading style sheets. You can submit your answer, and then you get feedback whether you got it correct or not, and then you can go to the next question. You may notice that there is a difference from the end of the previous stream, where we couldn't quite figure out why we're not getting a transition when submitting the form, and we fall back to regular old school server navigation. And it is because back then with Astro 3 that wasn't supported. Even if you have the view transitions, which you can see all over this app, when it comes to forms, they weren't hijacking the navigation to do the SPA style navigation thing that you can see here with all the nice transitions. So when it comes to submitting forms, Astro 3 wasn't doing it. As it happens, a bit after the stream, they released Astro 4 just for us, which is awesome. Quite a few things that we can talk about when it comes to Astro 4. I did an upgrade offline, but we'll have a look at some of them. The thing we're most interested in was this, submitting the form and getting a view transition like everywhere else. However, it's still, due to the design that we have, it still doesn't work as we'd like. So it's great that they've added this. It already looks much better. You can go and play and let me know if you actually like it. But I wouldn't want to navigate the question in again and the answers again. I just want to make this appear nicely. So we will also be bringing in Svelte today to do some client-side only stuff, which of course Astro signs in, having those little islands of interactivity. People doing this challenge or something similar, I think it's very fair to jump straight into using a UI framework and hydrating it and doing all of this stuff instead of using HTML forms and cookies and all the craziness we've done. I do think this gets you closer to the fundamentals. This makes your app work even without JavaScript, but not necessary. Just get it shipped, do a nice UX for everyone, and if you got it working like that, that's fine. And we're gonna be bringing in Svelte UI and interactions as well. Anything else we'll be talking about here in the preamble? So, finishing up this frontend quiz that you can already go and play. Talking about Astro 4, there were a couple things that were extra interesting. One of them, of course, the view transitions when it comes to submitting forms. That's huge. They have redesigned documentation and an integration, a better integration with something called enhanced expressive code, not enhanced code, which I didn't know about and I'm keen to have a look at. It does make the quiz that we have, it has an opportunity to look much better if we use something like this. And we may even have a try today, because very often, marketing language, very often you may notice that we get questions that have code in it. I guess I should actually pick the JavaScript part. So here, this is code. It's not highlighted nicely. It's not highlighted nicely. They have bigger code snippets at some point as well. Like this, if we were using something like expressive code, I think it'd be easier to make the UI of this look better. And these questions, I don't know, like I don't like them. I don't know if you like them. They do things like using var and not strict equality, which every time I browse the web for answers and I see something like this, I immediately discredit it because it must have been from like 10 years ago minimum. Which maybe is like what they did to scrape these answers and questions, because it's not that important, I guess. This frontend method challenge is mostly about the UI, not about the questions. So these are not that irritable. Will we get to one that has a lot of code. I guess that's the example for today. We can keep talking about Astro 4. So the expressive code thing, the form submissions thing, the Astro toolbar. So that's cool. That's something I was missing after a tip I got from one of my videos and streams, where in Svelte land and Svelte land, you do have the awesome Svelte toolbar, which amongst other things, you can command click on an element and then it gets you to VS Code, to your code, to where that element is defined. It seems they're doing that with the Astro toolbar if you're using a UI framework. So interesting enough, you can't actually click to a Astro component, which I think is a bit of a miss. Maybe they'll improve it in the future. But if we use a UI framework, and we're going to use Svelte soon in this stream, we should be able to click and go to the code of that component. So I'm very excited for that. Also, like they're using this toolbar to advertise some integrations. I guess that's fair enough. And other things like faster and blah, 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 all those exciting things. This was an experimental feature I was trying out with internationalization. That's great. But yeah, I'm keen to keep exploring Astro 4 and all of that. But I think that's about it with in regards to Astro 4 for now. We will be working on bringing in Svelte and dark mode specifically. Also how it's done now, you can see on the top right, I have this little icon that you can play, and we already have dark mode in. But if we look at the Figma designs, you may notice that they are much different to what we're presenting. I've kept the app here on brand with bonus XP, but we'll have a little toggle that switches you to like the spec mode, where it will actually look like what we have here in the Figma designs, and will presumably not blind you when it goes to light mode, which it does now. I think I could have done a better job with light mode. It's not too bad, but it's not the best. All right, I think that's enough preamble. We can get hands-on and explain how the dark mode currently works with Astro. And Astro has some parts that are generic enough that you can pretty much copy and paste to Svelte or Next.js, but there are some Astro specific things that I'd like to show as well. That's it for me. Let me know in the chat what you're working on and how you're doing, all the good stuff. So, much like other frameworks, Astro has layouts, but they don't work like all the other meta frameworks are doing it right now. You still have to manually get those components and enter them. Regardless, I do have a root layout. Still, I am using it like that. And I have an inline script, which is the one responsible for having a quick way to check local storage to see if the user has set a theme or not. In my case, if they haven't set a theme, if they haven't visited the site before, I do go for dark mode because I like that better and it's a style choice. But still, if they do wish to interact, if they don't like the dark mode, then they click here and they stay, and they switch light mode and they stay there. When they refresh the page, when they go from one page to the other, it will respect that and you will remain in light mode. And how that is done is that I have a data theme class on the HTML element, which gets added by this inline script. And then I'm also observing that property. Every time it changes, I sync up local storage. So next time they visit from local storage, I will get the latest value that they had. And also, maybe controversially, that would have been controversial 10 years ago, I am polluting the window global with my own method, toggle theme, which just checks what the current theme is and then sets it to the other one. And other components, such as this button, can call this method from the window and change the theme, which is, very straightforward. But 10 years ago, you'd be yelled at for doing it because every library was polluting the global and overwriting methods, and it causes conflicts. But nowadays, where you bring in things from NPM and this site doesn't have like analytic scripts or whatnot, this will not cause any conflicts. This is just fine. If you want, you could namespace it with something that's like unlikely to exist, like subscribe to Tonify, and then you call it from there, but no reason to do that. The other thing that's Astro specific is that the way they do view transitions, you need to do something extra. So they have this event firing right before the switch from the old transition to the new one. And we essentially want to set the theme of the new screen as well. So that's something you wouldn't need to do in other frameworks. But in Astro, you need to be listening to this event in order to re-add the theme to the document. If I don't listen to this event, just to show when it comes to light mode, it will look the same because default is light mode, I guess. But for dark mode, which is supposed to override some styles, you see that I've switched to light mode. So I'm on dark mode and I try to navigate, and the view transition falls back to light mode because the new document doesn't have that data theme class added. You need to add it in this event. And that's the general stuff. So my core layout component is doing a lot of the hard work, including this helper method to toggle the theme. And then I do have the theme toggle button. That's an Astro component that we're going to switch to Svelte. I am creating a web component, which I don't recommend to anyone, but it is what it is. So we are introducing this new theme toggle web component, which is a button that has the nice SVG that can switch from light to dark, from moon to sun, here according to whether it's nested inside something that has a data theme dark class or not. And we're setting up an click event handler, and when you click it, it calls the window toggle theme from the window global. And that's how it dark mode works. What I think we'll do now is have like a sub-theme functionality. If we go to the Figma designs, maybe here next to like this header, we can have like something like this, like a toggle, but instead of light and dark, we can be like spec and fun sub-theme. And on the fun theme, you keep using the greens and purples from bonus XP. Otherwise, if you go to spec mode, we will try to use the fonts and colors from the Figma design, with some more like bluish grays, but they still have like the purple accent, so that's neat. All right, so that's the overview. Let's bring in Svelte. So with Astro, you can bring in any framework component you'd like. Probably you'd bring in one, but in theory you can bring in like all of them if you really wanted. I'm gonna bring in Svelte for this, and I think they have like a specific Svelte other that I can click around to find. Also, we'll be refactoring today with confidence and changing like all of those things, because we've been BDDing this and we do have end-to-end tests that are passing, are going through the whole flow, are doing keyboard navigation and stuff, and they should be passing and they shouldn't be flaky. So there you go. If we do all of our crazy stuff and they still pass, we're confident. We don't even need to look at the deploy preview or anything. We know it's going to work. People are going to be able to go through the quiz. So that's cool. Let's add Svelte. Ooh, and it's directly trying to add the Svelte 5 preview already on Next. Haven't seen that. Last time I checked was like on version 0 still. Guess they are more confident already. I think we could pass in the Svelte inspector options here too, but we'll see. Breaking changes can occur. Sure. So let's see what this thing did. It changed the Astro config. I don't know why Dano is trying to start here. Dano causes me more problems than it's worth. So this thing brought in Svelte, in here, along with Solid.js. Doesn't seem like too much. Added in the Svelte dependency, Svelte 5 dependency even, and we have a minimal Svelte config indeed. All right. Looks reasonable. Let's try to use a Svelte component. Oh, they have like general stuff about how to do this. Let's go to our theme toggle and say, I guess, instead of an Astro component that declares a web component for this thing, let's make it Svelte. I guess we can just change the name here to be .svelte. Sure. Tried to make refactoring changes that didn't quite work. In the script, I do want to use TypeScript now. But maybe we won't even have like a script tag here. We won't have a theme toggle custom component. And what we'll have instead, let's see if prettier still runs, because I didn't get it to work. Does it not know that this is a Svelte file? Something going on? Interesting. I have updated my Svelte plugin. And prettier, so... yeah, of course. So now that we added Svelte, that should be in the docs actually. There is an extra plugin for prettier that we need. Prettier plugin Svelte. That's why it's not formatted. And without prettier, we can't do anything really. And hopefully it works with Svelte 5. So let's see now. Oof. Says the Svelte server keeps crashing for some reason. Prettier keeps going, and it did manage to do this. Seems like there is a VT issue or something. Cannot find auto prefixer. Interesting. Let's manually bring it in. All right. This made it work. Auto prefixer made it work. And prettier works as well. Beautiful. But now that we have all that, we should be able to at least render this button. Svelte inspector not working in Svelte 5. Fair enough. So now I was expecting our Svelte component to just appear here. Like if we say hello world or something. It should appear, but it doesn't. It is the correct place. I think we should say here it just works, I guess. Should we say it feels like it should be able to know what happens. We can do client idle, hydrate it eventually. It's still not quite showing. So that's interesting. We decided to create a quick random component here. Can we bring it into our header? Yeah, Svelte integration doesn't seem to be doing it, but it's not crashing either. So that's weird, isn't it? Let's try to play it safe and see if Svelte 4 works. Next 22. Wow. Yeah, so it seems it was the Svelte 5 thing that was a problem. Oh well. Sad, but it is what it is. We'll play with Svelte 5 eventually, I'm sure. Right. So with Svelte 4, this just works. We don't need this sample component we created. But this still doesn't have any interactivity. And we can have a look at what our theme toggle was doing. So just checking the window and toggling the theme. We can do it that inline. So button on click. In Svelte 5 this would be on click without the colon. But now it has to be like this. And indeed we're back to working, but without needing to register a web component or anything like that. So Svelte officially in. Do we still remember the theme? Yes, because that's done in a different component altogether. Great. And you can see that when I click the inspect thingy, it shows me like that this is a interactive island, and clicking there should get me to the code. So let's go to any other file. Let's even close this and click this. Does that work? Yeah. So you don't click the component again, you click here that you can't quite see, but hey, maybe you can see it better in the big screen. Oh no, because I have it on the side in any case. Yeah, they need to work on the UI on this, but that's fine. Can't win. All right. In any case, Svelte 5 doesn't work. But we did bring in Svelte. We explored whether Svelte 5 works with Astro, I should say. Svelte 5 in general will work in a lot of cases. And now, I guess I want to do something similar. I want to add that toggle thing here, like another island of interactivity here, that will be doing a similar on-click. I want you to set the subtheme. So it looks like this. And I guess Tailwind UI will probably have a switch component or something. Yeah, this. We want to steal it. What do they call it? Toggle. Which one looks most like the design? With icon, cute. Yeah, I guess just this. Cool. So potentially, I guess we'll only have this for our app here, Frontend quiz. Maybe we should do something to prove first that this is gonna work. Let's look at our design system. Let's put this a bit further to the left. Have a design spec here, and they're using Rubik. So let's change let's conditionally change the font. To do that, we would need to change something in our app. CSS, our global CSS rather. We should have a sans font. We go to Tailwind. The sans font does happen to be RLW variable. And I guess we can copy all of this. And in Tailwind now, we want to say that it should be our var sans font. Maybe font sans is a better prefix. So font sans. And you can see, like with the misspelling, like if I don't set this variable, it falls back to whatever my Mac thinks should be the font. But the moment I set it, it becomes this. And my idea is when you toggle the theme, you should be getting the Rubik font. Is it Rubik? Or was I just thinking about the beloved puzzle? I wasn't. So I think I have another layout, the Frontend quiz layout. And in here, I'm thinking that I can have like a sub theme that I pass or something, or maybe just here. So data theme, data sub theme equals mentor. And I do want to introduce some CSS that I guess I can just put here in line and say if data theme, data subtheme equals mentor, then I want the font sans variable to be I think it's going to be like Rubik variable. And in here, we should be falling back to the other theme, hopefully. Or maybe Tailwind is not like resetting this. I don't know how they set the font. It doesn't seem to change anything. Font family, still the railway variable. So how is it set? It's set to font sans. So in here, it should be falling back to this. Indeed. But I'm not targeting anything. What a guy. So I should target the div, I guess. I could even target the global HTML. Oh no, this is correct. Like anything that has this, then everything inside it should have the other thing. Font family is this, but it should be this. And that should be Rubik variable. Interesting. Maybe it's because I don't have this font, actually. So let's bring in the Rubik font. Let's go to font source and search for Rubik. And it's this, it is a variable font. Bring it in with PNPM. So dev dependency. And import it like this. In this layout file. Maybe let's restart the server because this is Tailwind and sometimes Tailwind does some funky stuff. Yeah, still the same. Let's say that we shouldn't need to say this again, but hey. So everything in here should be using the other font. But is there like higher specificity? What's happening? Font family says it's railway variable. It should be this. Goes all the way to the HTML. Okay, apologies. It's font family, not font family E. But I don't know why we should be resetting this. Everything's inherited in the font. Tailwind that says font family, use this variable. And in here, that variable should be different. But hey, we're not gonna spend too long trying to figure this out. The thing is, if I manage to get a toggle subtheme thing going, then we won't need to hardcode data subtheme mentor. So without this, we should switch to the other font. Indeed we do. All right, so this is gonna work. This is gonna work. We just need something that toggles this on and off. So let's see how it goes for the welcome page. Here, way high. They have like a section here, so maybe we can add it like in the other pages where we do have a subheading like this. So let's check our slug page or question number page. Yeah, question number is correct. So here we have an H1 that just has this, and I'll put this in a div. Nothing should visually change, but here's where I want to have like my set sub theme toggle thingy. Here. So I do want this to be flex container and space between, or justify between. Yeah. And items center. Well, that didn't work as I expected. Because the margin should be here. Of course, it should be in this div now. All right. Now we're cooking. And here, I guess we want a similar situation. Our core layout and our other theme toggle. So we can just copy this and say, and paste it in here. But no, UI elements cannot go here, sadly. So components, play. Hoffman, bon dia. Hello, Hoffman from Brazil. Nice to see you here. I still think Florianopolis is one of the best places I've ever visited. So in here, I'm actually going to create a sub theme toggle. And it's going to be a button that's going to be doing something else. This is a button. Great. So let's copy everything, I guess, from the element. And when it's enabled, they want to translate x5. Let's render this sub theme toggle. Hydrate it when the browser is doing nothing. Cool. It's there. And I can say toggle subtheme. Aria checked. It's not going to be dynamic. going to say this is a button. Going to say cursor pointer. No. And the background. We can make it be foreground something. What we called? I picked up a bit of Portuguese when I was there. I stayed there for a little bit of time, but now I live in Spain, so I'm completely confused and I know nothing. Because they're sometimes similar and sometimes very different. And what I hear is that if you can speak Portuguese like you, then you're much closer to being able to speak Spanish and understand Spanish. But if you speak Spanish, then it's harder to understand Portuguese. But I do remember beleza. So we have a foreground brand color that I may want to use for focus ring here. It doesn't believe that's a real thing, sadly. Thank you. Yeah, my Brazilian BFF told me that I need to be able to get in a taxi and say this, or when someone cute talk to me, I should say this, and if I nail it, I'm gonna have a very pleasant time and happy conversation. Right, so focus ring brand, ring foreground brand should get us what we want. Now when we focus, we would get like this white thing, but maybe accent. Make it be a bit better. All right, so we get that purple thing. Cool. And when we're here, then it's translated to the other side. And I guess the background as well should be a different color. Copy it. Yeah, so the background should be different. But maybe it will just change. So let's make it this be a surface. The accent, the real thing. Surface accent 1 is the real thing. So it's like this, and it will switch to another one when we switch what the accent surface looks like. But it could be also brand 2, I think. Yeah, that actually looks better. And oh, it should actually have labels, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. So the idea is that when this thing is inside a data subtheme equals mentor, then this thing. So how would we easily target this? Let's target it. Let's target it with Is it actual button? Maybe I'll just make this a div. Let's say button span. Let's make the other thing a div. We could add a class name, but hey. All right. So when the subtheme is mentor, it goes to the right. When it's not, it goes to the left. Let's see what's happening. And we can transition transform. I think that's a real thing. So let's play that back again. I guess it reloads, so we won't know. We'll check. So the idea is, where will we be adding the subtheme mentor? Somewhere. Maybe in the HTML or in this layout, not sure. Let's look at all the layout and copy everything we're doing for the theme for the subtheme. Oh, so the whole script. All right. And I think, and I hope, that even on our sub layout, we can just have the script be here. And we'll change everything that says theme to subtheme. And the default subtheme should be bonus XP, like the bonus thing. Local storage for subtheme. I think this probably crashed. And I set it to bonus, which is not what we want. It's a bit too eager to save there. Before swap, we should do the same thing we did, sir. But we're not going to be targeting this. We're going to be targeting this. And then quiz container. Right. So actually, when you set the subtheme, we get the container with document get element by ID frontend quiz container. Hope that's correct. And then container dataset subtheme is subtheme. Set it early, set it after the view transition, or right before the view transition happens. And there, we do want to check and get it from a different key. And again, we're not getting this from the document anymore. Although we could, I just don't want to add like too many things to the document. even though it would change like the header and stuff, which may be fun. Maybe we'll do it in the future. And then yes, we could take it out there and use it and observe it. Actually, we may want to get the element right before we check the theme. And check for subtheme. And toggle subtheme, what it's going to be doing. If it's currently on bonus, then we want to go to mentor, or else we go to bonus. But once again, we want to do this on the container element. And we can go to our TypeScript definition thingy and say that now maybe the window will also have a toggle subtheme thing. All right. So what did we mess with? Did I actually mess with the layout? Don't think I did. We have the theme toggle, which should be doing same things. Sure. Subtheme toggle will be checking in on this soon. Let's double check. Like this script, if I don't have it, and everything is dandy. If I have the script, just a little check, subtheme, just checking if I have a runaway theme. Yeah, this should be some theme. Ooh, this must be new. So we can name this subtheme observer. And now we should be good to go. All right, so theme changes nicely. Let's see. We remove this. Let's see if we can do our subtheme toggle. Do something cool. On click. That's not quite what we wanted. Window toggle subtheme. If that's a thing, we want to call it. All right. in dataset. Oh, interesting. So this one. All of these should be finding the correct thing. Which one's the one crossing? But here, it's saying that it can't find this. Which is fair enough. I think I gave it the correct name. But at least not crash anymore. So we're having trouble like finding this element. And I wonder why. Could we do it on mount? Maybe. All right, so since this is getting quite complicated, I won't delete it yet, but I'll make this subtheme toggle responsible for all of this craziness. But then we may be getting like a flash of CSS. I guess instead of doing container stuff, I can still add it to the HTML element. So let's do it again. Document element, or whatever we're doing on the other part. Yeah, this. So not this, not this. This, sure. Set theme. Set subtheme, pass new document, sure. From here. Alright, that's starting to make sense. Maybe the view transition was the thing that was making it not quite work. Maybe we should be running that query in the new document. Subtheme observer is this, but no container on the document element. Again, observe the document element. Again, document element. So now this should be happier. And the HTML is set in a subtheme. And let's look at our local storage. Oh, no subtheme here. Interesting. Why is that? Looks like it should be fine. Subtheme toggle should be taking the window to do this and toggling the subtheme. Running. Yep. So here, is this running? Ugh. We're checking the theme, not the subtheme. We're getting somewhere. So and the next one it claims it should be bonus again, which is weird, but it is bonus now. Undefined. Of course, because I'm not doing dataset. Now should be good to go. All right, cool. Although this should be changing already. The font family. But I see no such thing. So we are in the mentor, something mentor. I guess we need to look at the global style. Like global. Like not just in this layout, anywhere in our app. If this exists, then we do styles. And indeed, we're switching from our font to the other one. Neat. Let's do more neat stuff. So we have some colors here. And what do we want to do? Is this still needed? It's not. All right, now that we're targeting the global, we don't need to add this rule. Great. If we look at our global CSS, it feels like we will, maybe we won't need to do stuff with brand and hue and all of that, but we will need to do all of this. And I guess the error colors are the same, but we can re-specify them. So we will be setting we will be resetting these. and then it will just work. We're on dark mode. Let's see if surface 1 dark was like for, and we need the brand hue. Maybe not. Our dark surface, is it this one? Unclear. Does it have like a specific name? Dark navy. This light dark navy. Alright, so the background is dark navy. I think that's our surface 1. And navy is the other one. Dark navy, navy, gray navy. Yeah, not sure. So let's say that the surface 1, dark one, is, I didn't actually copy the HSL. Hello Parth, nice to see you in the chat and glad to help. Hope you're having fun, that's the most important thing. I know I am when I go into rabbit holes like this. It takes me a while, but we get there in the end. So, if my calculations are correct, if we click this button, we should get a different, a gray, bluish gray, light, dark navy color as background. And yay, we did it. That's cool, isn't it? And I guess our surface 2 color for dark mode is the regular navy. And our accent color is this, unclear. So 215, 27, 32. No, that was the navy one. All right, so the dark navy is what I meant to do. All right, you see this? Is it not cool? And did we just crack it? Is this it? I guess the donuts are doing the opposite thing. So yeah, this should be the navy one. And the dark navy should be everything else. But what's this? Where is gray navy? Where do they use gray navy? And where do they use this? Purple. Is purple just the accent? So this, let's see if that changes. I think it's their accent hue. Is it exactly the same? Is it the tailwind one? So if we make this like 15, where is that not where we use it? Because we're not. Ah, it's here. All right, not too bad. So what are we using here? I'm confused. What are we using in the stepper? be the foreground accent. This one. Huh. Is it just the same? I think it may be. I think it just may be. So let's do it. You can see the purple is slightly different. And did we magically like do everything at least for dark mode? I hope this shows that it was quite a lot of work to set up, but now you can do things like this, CSS variables, like, easily, nicely. So it's worth it in the end. And success color and dark color, we already stole them from the Figma design, so they will be the same. I think this may be it. We ever use this? I guess we do not. Foreground accent. We must be using all the time. Not that often. I think I should be using a surface accent here. And this is very subtle, subtle gray. So let's look at our subtheme toggle here. What's its background? It's busy surface brand 2. Maybe accent 1 would be better. Yeah, I like it more. And we just need transition transform. We don't have transition transform. Does it still work? Yeah. All right, cool. Just need to add the duration, I guess. All right. Light mode. Ugh. Dark mode looks nice. Light mode, as usual, doesn't. So let's figure out light mode. Guess we're not legitimately using this anywhere. Right, so for light mode, this is light gray. Which is this? Great. Our surface brand 1 is this, even though it's not related to the brand, I guess, anymore. Usually I call them brand and accent, that's why. And the secondary surface, oh, it's even whiter. Pure white. Ugh. Ugh. Makes sense. So pure white is 0 degrees on the hue wheel, 0% on the saturation, 100% on the brightness. And I guess like this will still be the same. This and this. And I think this is not used. Oh, it is used here and here. Interesting. So the main text, this is dark navy in this case. Dark navy, which is this. All right. It's, I think, is our first surface here. 277. No, I was wrong. 216, 25, 25. All right. A light mode that doesn't burn your eyes. Yes, this one should be something else. Is it the accent color? What should this be? I'm not sure. But here, I guess the text should be something else. So on dark mode, what color is this? Pure white. Pure white is boring. But hey. And this light bluish. Oh, how are you using this? Subtle text. Ah, it's using foreground brand at 70%. I like that. Kinda clever. But what about this? What about all those buttons? I guess I can hard code that no matter what, they are white. And I think we're done. We've done like the nice cool brand. I still like dark mode more. It's like too white. But that's what they wanted. That's what the designers wanted. So fair enough. Let me know in the chat. Do you like it? Do you like the new light mode, new dark mode, same as the Figma designs, my dark mode, or my light mode? I definitely have preferences. Let's look at them as well. So this is kind of neat. Like we go to this app. What happened there? Oh, we haven't added the toggle on the older place. It's kind of silly. And I guess the font is slightly wider, so things are, the container is slightly bigger. That's kind of cute. All right, so their dark mode, their light mode, my dark mode, and my light mode. Which one do you like most? Think about it. I'm revealing my answers. I'd say definitely the dark modes are top. And this is nice. It's just different, I guess. Bluish. Bluish dark instead of green dark. And I like the contrast of the purple more. Like I like mine, but it could use a bit more contrast for sure. So it's I have to say mine. Then again, I'm not a designer. I'll say their dark mode. No, I'm gonna be honest. My dark mode, their dark mode, their light mode is a bit better than my light mode. So that's something. That's kind of neat. So we've managed to do all of that. What will we be doing next? Next, we should make these, like the feedback bit better. So as a reminder, we don't need this, we don't need this. I guess we can stay here. Not really. Talked about this, we're showing this. Probably don't want this. All right. So as a reminder, let's answer a question. Those scroll up as well, which can be a bit annoying. But hey, not too bad. Have I gone through the whole quiz? I haven't. So now if I answer a question, which attribute is used to provide the path of an image in the image tag? Source. You see that it's like the next page is coming in and it has this, like a check mark, and we don't provide, if you get it incorrect, we don't provide the answer of what was the correct answer. And I think we'll want to persist this page and then using JavaScript actually have the green ticks and their error marks pop in. Maybe spawn in some confetti or something. Could be fun. But we've done a lot. Let's say that add toggleable mentor subtheme. Errand console logs. Really. And I guess, like, we didn't change much, but it's always nice. Like when we push GitHub, it's gonna run this test, so it's fine. But even locally, we can confirm that we didn't break anything. That's always nice. I don't know which device is the one that goes, that it takes the most time. Maybe it's like the Chrome because it has the transitions. So it takes a bit longer. Right, so when we answer questions, we don't want to navigate away, we will be changing actually a lot of stuff. Because, oh, I forgot. Let's go back. We don't have the theme toggle here. We want the theme toggle in our main page. And the results page, I guess. So here. Actually here. And maybe here. No, above this. So in here, I guess we just want the sub-theme toggle. And maybe this has a class MB10. It becomes MB16. Too much? Yeah, maybe it needs a bit more. Let's do MD or LC MB12. But we also wanted to align self and so now we have it on this screen too. It does nothing. It's kind of weird. For here, it just works. Ah, of course, we need to actually tell Astro to hydrate this, or else it's not clickable. Its JavaScript is not going to be zipped, which is cute. Could be a drop down with a theme. We could be saying, you know, fun theme or whatever, but doesn't really matter. And on the results page, so let's make it. I'll just copy this. I'll go to the end. Results. Oh, the results page still has this header. So actually, we can keep it, can copy it from here. But I suspect we changed like something. Ah, we added all of this, actually. An extra div. Now I remember. Let's style this a bit better. But to do that, we're gonna add a Svelte component, I suppose. Not for the front-end quiz, for here. Have the question. I think all of this form is gonna be a Svelte component. Can only imagine. Because we want to add a handler here that's gonna be doing stuff. So since I did that, something, let's amend that previous commit and focus on extracting this into a Svelte component. So maybe all of this we can go to components, play front-end quiz, answers form, answer form, not sure. Here we need to say that we're gonna do JavaScript. And here, I guess, oh, we do need the question. What else do we need? Maybe nothing. All the answers. Jesus. Oh dear. Let's introduce a script tag. We are going to be totally doing JavaScript. So this component should get the question. This will be a string. Should get the answers, which could be an array. Maybe we'll create a store for this, I'm not sure, but it's going to be like a string array. And potentially may even need like potential answers, like the potential answers, options, it's options. Question is this, the options are that, and then it can also be the answer. So what would it look like? So selected could be a number because it's an index, is correct, we've used it before. And actual could be also a number. So you can say that the user selected answer 1, but the actual answer was 2. And just as a convenience, we have is correct, but maybe not. Maybe we can derive this. So the user selected this and the actual answer is this. And it's correct, why not? Like this, great. And here we're gonna map. We're gonna loop, which is not done with a map in Svelte. It's done with an each. Options as value e, or option, I guess. To return anything. Where's the answer? Don't even remember what this does. And checked can be answer selected. This can also be null. Or null. So whether it's checked, going to be whether the we have an answer and answer selected equals e, or then it's going to be undefined. And then what did we try to do here? Don't remember, from Tuesday. Like what were we doing? What were we thinking? I guess we're trying to add a data attribute, but I don't know if we'll keep going with this. Can do a similar thing, I guess. So if answer and answer actual equals e, and then it's true, or else it's undefined. And we can check again. We can say it's correct, true. Or else it's false, I suppose. maybe that's hard to understand because I'm trying to understand and I cannot. Well, I kinda can, but not clearly. So maybe we want is wrongly selected. Is wrong choice. If we have an answer and the answer actual we have an answer and, or not. Okay, we may not use this. So let's just say if it's correct, we do this and move on with our lives. And here we're doing some craziness too. So here's where we render the various icons, which we may need to think about. If answer else and then and if is it just two nested ifs? I think so. Right. So if is that how we're going to do this? Maybe not. If you have an answer and now we were thinking about whether we should do this with CSS or not. So maybe we will. So let's just render both of them for now. And don't worry about it too much. Maybe render them in a div. And we can do something neat eventually with a grid layout. I think we'll make it look a bit better. And now they're like, show results or do the next question. So if we have an answer, else, and if. Oh, it's like a double thing. So if we have an answer, if else and that if, then another else. I guess this could be outside. If we have an answer, we want another check. We want to check, let's say, more questions. So export that too. So if more questions, we want to show this little href. Else, we want to show, oh, the other way around. If there are more questions, we want to show the next question thing. If there are no more questions, then we want to go to the results page. And otherwise, we just want a button to submit our form. And I think that's it. And we even managed to do something that compiles. So that's great. But these links, not sure about these links. Should we know like all these things? Maybe this form should know. Should it be passed like the button? Maybe. So yeah, the submit button, I'm gonna put it elsewhere. Maybe not. Just thinking about these like hrefs. This is the easy one, but this one, is this never used? And we also like stopped pointer events here, which is kinda cheeky, I'd say. This is where we're using the question. And we should be using the option somewhere. Yeah, so instead of value, this should be like option. And the icons are Astro components, so that's not great. And I'm just wondering, like, should we be passing these links? I guess. All right, that looks reasonable. We just need these icons. I think let's just make this like a Svelte component. Don't try to do anything fancy. That's not how you do it. Svelte. So let class string equals this, and export class name. That's what I want to do. It's the other way around. Let class name be this, and export class name as class. The problem with class being a reserved keyword, of course. And now this should be fine. Load window. Should be happy now. Not quite remember how this is done. As class. Alright. Almost got it. So correct icon and error icon dot result. Skip changes and do this instead. Great. And now we want in our Astro file where we have this form, we want to use our answers form Svelte component. And client hydrate. And load. it to load kind of quickly. But of course, we want like a million things to pass in here. Maybe I'll need to put it here in this window. But the answers form, I forgot to bring this in. So this needs, hello day, how are you? Good is great. My screen resolution isn't big enough to do this, clearly. But just quickly, we want to pass in the question number, the options, and the answer. It's gonna be like a weird object. And more questions. And the slug. Wow. Are there more questions? It's gonna be a boolean and a slug string. It's correct, we didn't end up using, we may use it eventually. All right, so let's see. So the question did we have it somewhere? Current question, great. Which is something that has question, options, and answer. But in our case, it's gonna be current question, question. Question number is the question number. This. The options is going to be current question options. So that's fun. The answer is going to be like the cookie, I guess, that we have. Which we did define a bit different, so we will change it. Let's just say that it's null. Say that we don't have an answer. Are there more questions? Well, that's question number. Is it less than the total questions? The slug is the slug, and maybe that's it. All right, we're getting somewhere. Now I do want to make this a grid. So let's do it before I forget. So the form has this field set, and this field set, I made it be a flex container, which I don't agree with anymore. I want to make it a grid. I don't think I want to like auto flow or anything. But let's see. Let's just make it like grid and It calls 3. See what happens. Yeah, not quite. Ah, yeah, because this thing could be like a grid and a subgrid, although subgrid may be breaking things. What's the support for subgrid again? All right, it's pretty good. And I don't think that's a Tailwind thing just yet. Yeah, it's not. Answer toggle, you say. Oh. I did make these. Answer and answer toggle and all of these classes. Like, did they do nothing? Well, they must have done something. Let's think about this. Let's paste all of these styles because I guess they were all related to the form. And in here, the answer toggle right, I see the problem. So no subgrid, nothing like that. The problem is I want to click anywhere, I guess, and then see this. Cool. So there must be, I must pick a different way to make these things fly to the end. The answer toggle should always have like these 3 things. The label, I guess. The label is the one that could be a grid. Kind of like this. And I think this little span, it does have a specified width, height and width, so it should be fine. It's 12 is 3 rem. How much is this now? Maybe it doesn't matter. So answer toggle. Do I have any styles for like the label? Not really. So after all of this craziness for the input, label, and make it be display grid. Am I getting it? I think so. Wow. So that's cool. That's better than it was before. It puts the icons at the end nicely. And to show only the correct one. So what can we do there? We were trying to do like some crazy stuff here, but we couldn't quite master it. So one of the questions is, we can show the correct icon if there is an answer, if answer, and answer, what does answer look like again? Is this? Then you show the correct icon. Which will not show it for now, but that's fine. And the error icon we show it if there is an answer and the answer selected is not the answer actual, but also this current thing, is it the correct option? Is it the option you selected? So I think that's gonna look nicer. And the thing now is to make the answer object look more like what we'd expect. But let's fake it here. And we do have the is correct helper, which we can use. Before we move along. Maybe not. We don't use it elsewhere. That's just confusing. Right, so let's see how it looks. Let's say that here the answer has a selected of 1, but actual of 2. Nice, you've selected this one, but actually the answer was that one, sorry. Sorry. And yeah, we don't get any more UI on the correct one. Cool. But if we've selected the correct one, great. All right, we're cooking. So first, we want to slightly change what our server method does. So Astro, we're saying when there is a post request to this page, which that form is doing, you should get the data, you should get the answer index, sure. You should see if it's the correct answer. Then we have like this huge object that has selected and is correct. But we want to have selected an actual, I guess. Then we save that for 1 billion years. But can we also like return something? Can we return an object here? Not sure. So first, let's delete our cookies. Because we're gonna kinda rewrite how they work. Oof, breaking things. Clear your cookies if you go here. Cool. And I guess we said that what we want to return. We don't care about this. We want to return actual correct answer index. And the answers say that they will actually be this format now. And why we're doing this? We can say that the result is this. And put that result in the cookies. But I also want to return a response with this. So let's see. Routes. Great. So we just return a response. They don't say anything about cookies, which kinda scares me. Ah, set response message. All right. We hidden an API here, which is not great. Let's just wonder if the cookies will still be set. We'll see, I guess. All right, but I'm not gonna do it yet. And here, what is the answer? Check the answers cookie again. Answer is this, sir. So we can do current answers, I suppose. Maybe. Question number 1. Or null. All right, so I haven't answered this. I haven't seen how the form should work, but I should still be able to reply. So HTML stands for Hypertrainer Marketing Language. Submit answer. All right. And if I refresh the page, still set. Cookies are still set nicely. Correct structure. Let's say that it's this. It's correct, and it still remembers. And if I go back, all right, works beautifully. But what am I saying now? I'm saying that maybe we want to use Svelte magic to have the feedback when you answer look a bit better instead of it flying in. But this is maybe good enough, so let's save this, refactor. So no extra interactivity. We could even like not hydrate this and not load this because it's not having any JavaScript. But now we're going to make it have some JavaScript because we are going to call the action endpoint here. And I think, where were we? Here. Yeah, it's not doing anything like crazy. I guess we can get the action from this page. How do we get the form action URL? Not with jQuery. Dear Lord. When the action is like the same page, how do we do it? We'll just wing it. We'll just wing it. All right, so we want a handle submit, or on submit, I guess. On submit. On submit. How do we type this? Help me type this, please. I'll do it inline. So this will have an event. And we can do prevent default here. And we can say and we can hit the API like this. The wrong one. And then the result is going to be this. We parse it JSON. And then we're going to do stuff with the result, I suppose. But I'm gonna hit this current path name because it's the current route, right? And the method will be the event current target method. Get the phone data, and then we have some results. And then just let's console log the results and see what happens. So now when I answer this question, I'm gonna open the other window. Actually, play. And the toolbar. I guess this is an island. This is an island. But also this is an island. and I can click and it gets me to VS Code, but it's having trouble staying inside my window. Oh well, so that will make it better. So now let's have the console open, because which elements used to define the title of a document? And say head. Submit the answer. So which space did it try to hit? Try to hit this. Did the server say anything? Not really. Let's see, URL. It still did its thing, which is interesting, to say the least. So I am trying to hit this with form submission. Is it not prevented default? And the method should be post, but just in case. So I'm pretty sure that we are doing a fetch to the correct thing here. And they look the same. We get the new page, but we shouldn't be getting like this. Shouldn't be getting this. With a post request there, we shouldn't be getting the HTML. We should be getting this handler, but maybe like this handler. So if request method is this, then you should be doing something else. But I guess we're never getting in there. Can I say that I want application JSON? Maybe that's something. So let's do like headers, content type, accept application JSON. If I tell it, don't give me HTML, give me application JSON, would it agree? Don't think it did. Yeah, it keeps hitting the same thing. I could have like just an API, but that feels wrong. I'm pretty sure if I make this be a standalone API, then this is gonna work. But I'm not sure if I like that. But I guess we'll have to try. Or else Astro is doing like its own magic. But will the Astro cookies thing work? All right, let's do this. Let's create for the frontend quiz just one single URL. Let's call it handle answer. Maybe per slug. Or should it be for everyone? I'll make it before everyone. And I guess we can call it anything. It gets params as well. Does JSON do anything magic? I guess not really. All right, so I'm gonna create a new file and call it answer.ts. Where? And here, no types, any TypeScript support. Appear out something. And can I still set cookies here? There's nothing, so unclear. Can I opt out of the magic form stuff? Unclear. All right, so these should be things, and we can say slug. If no slug, or other. Is this too complicated just for a nice slide animation? Probably. Is what I'm thinking. Can we do something else? We can actually. Or can we not? Right before we submit the form, maybe we can do something? But then when we navigate away, how will we know? Maybe that's a better way to do this. This is Svelte, unfortunately. Because how will we know? Like, is there a before navigate and after navigate? Maybe. I'm thinking that there may be a better way to do this. Before swap, after swap, before preparation, after preparation. So I'm thinking that maybe we can tag into this event. Actually. So what did we do here? I'm not gonna do this. Just too complicated. And this current thing, how did that happen? This one, forget it ever happened. The answers form. Yeah. Don't do anything. I'm just thinking, can we add this event handler here? I guess we need the listener. All right, let's see. I'm thinking, let's have a look. Like this should still work the same. But I don't like how it like swipes in with the answers. Instead, I want to do something fun with the indicators or whether you got it correct or wrong. But how do we do this? Maybe on mount. Can we say that we can listen? To this? but we still won't know whether the form is submitted or not. Sadly, damn. When you submit this form, I actually have the form here. Event, current target. This is the form. Style. View transition name. And we need to extend this in the document, which I've done in a different project. And I want to set form, options form, answer form. So now that I've done that, like right before we fire the form, it should have worked, but it didn't. Maybe it's not fast enough. So if I say form, view transition name is answerer form. Let's see if that would work. So results. Oh, this works here too. Nice. Play again. Play this one. So you can see that we didn't switch to a new page and these kind of transitioned in. However, now these don't pass anymore. So I want to only conditionally add this before the form gets submitted. But clearly this is not doing it. This isn't fast enough. So I don't know if this is like a bug with Astro. Even when I say prevent default, it still does its trick with the form. It's unclear to me. So how can I check this? I may be able to trick it somehow. Like this form, I want when I submit this form, to add an inline style to it. But maybe like the one we're moving out from has this, and the one that's coming in doesn't. So yeah, I'm not sure how to handle this. Like the whole point of bringing in SvelteKit wasn't just to do like these ternaries with ifs and stuff. It was to a better transition there, but I just don't know. And it's not just the form, actually, it's all of this. So yeah, before form. It feels like the answer could be like here. But how do I know if it's like a view transition or something? Like, what does this event have, actually? Maybe it has something cool. So let's have a look at that then. Do we change anything else here? Not really. I want to check if this event has any information we can use, if it will differentiate. Oh. Yeah, so script inline, something. Let's see. So if I navigate, it says from URL to URL, navigation type, blah, blah, blah. And it has the view transition. So that's neat. That's interesting. And if I select one now, is there like an easy way to see? We're going from the same page to the same page. So that's interesting. That could be something that we can use. But I was hoping that it would be saying that, oh, this is in response to a form submission. But I guess we could check whether the from and the to are the same. Could be doing a trick here. And did I see that it has the navigation too, the view transition? And when it's finished, we can do something. All right, so instead of doing it here, can we do the same thing in the form? Oh, but no, we want like all of these to stay the same actually. Let's do it here for now and we'll see. Let's say So this event from, what's this even look like? Doesn't look like they've typed it well. Event from href. If event from href equals event to href, then I want to do something clever, or else do nothing. And maybe what I want is document element, view transition name, no view transitions. And then I think we can await, or will there be like no view transitions? I think there will. So event view transition finished. Okay, with that. Or just delete it. Alright, is this crazy enough to work? No. But why? It feels like here we won't be adding this view transition name. Do we need to do the same thing with a new document? Ugh. Let's try. And then actually, I guess that's the one we want to delete. So let's try again. Answer this. Still does it. Let's log the hrefs. Are they even a real thing? So these are different, indeed. But when I answer, they should be the same. Oh, it's .style. I think we're close to actually doing it. Why didn't TypeScript help me now? Answer. It feels like this would work, but it doesn't. Are we being too cheeky? So we are doing some stuff. We are setting a view transition name to something else to these documents, which should be blocking their transition animation. Maybe it's before preparation. try harder. Hey, Damien. Thank you for the kind words, and thank you for tuning in and commenting in the chat. That's why I do this, to help people. Demons get 0 out of 10. I deserve it. I deserve that for this. Alright, let's find a quiz that we haven't taken. Alright. It is a different event. It's still not doing it. Like, even if this breaks. Also, Damien, there is a video in the works that is going to be view transitions with Svelte. Again, like an edge case that I had fun with. I'm working on it, and it's going to be about 7 minutes. I think on Sunday I'll be able to put it up, but definitely before the next live stream on Tuesday. So there is more Svelte and Svelte coming up. I'm just in love with the app-like feel of view transitions, and I think people should be doing it more, and it really gives you an edge. And it's a pleasure to work with Svelte. I guess this is an example of where it's better in Astro than XJS, where it's almost impossible to do view transitions, but still it is doing its basic here, and it's hard to get into the weeds and do what I want. Well, in Svelte it's easier because it's closer to the API. And great question, why bother to use Astro and not just Svelte for this app? So definitely I'd be most comfortable in any project, I guess, to either use Svelte or Next.js, and especially for smaller projects where I don't have to think about other people coming in who are usually going to be React engineers. I go with Svelte because I think the DevX is the best, and I do think now with the way Paraglide.js works, internationalization is better in Svelte than in Next.js with a new app directory. So I would go with Svelte in general, and especially for a project like this. But I did want to try Astro, and I do have this site made, which also contains like my notes from some courses and stuff. And one thing that I found quite hard to do in Svelte is to be able to stream like the code blocks nicely and render them nicely in the page. And with Astro, it's great with that sort of thing, the content stuff. So I had this project in the works, and I figured that it may be fun to have like a little area there in Astro where I implement different things with different languages. So even this app, I could make it work just with Astro, and then also make it work with Svelte, and then make it work with Solid.js or whatever else. And I think that'd be a fun way to showcase different frameworks, or other people can come in and make it work with like Angular or whatever else they choose. So I guess the answer is I did want to do a bit more with Astro because I like revisiting frameworks, even those that I don't like Angular. And Vue.js, that I kind of get what's the appeal and what they're doing well, but they just don't jive with me. But still, I want to keep checking them because maybe they will be jiving with me in the future. And Astro has indeed improved a lot from the older versions that I've used. Astro 3 was quite good at many things, and special content, as I said. So I want to keep an eye out on all the other frameworks, because great ideas pollinate and they'll make their way into Svelte as well. They're really good. And yeah, the idea of using different tools for different puzzles and little games, I thought was quite cute. So those are the answers of why we went with Astro for this one. But definitely, especially things with like with form actions, Next.js and Svelte, that would be easier to do. Although, again, like this animation in Next.js, it wouldn't be easy to do, actually. It would be a bit tricky. But Svelte, it would be easier. Right, so still I'm trying to figure out, is there a way to like block the view transition when I submit the form here? Or is this thing doing just too much magic and we need to move on with our lives? So if I do submit again, what does this look like? That's a new document. It doesn't have the view transition at all, I guess. It has the source element with the document. Sure. And even if I add view transition names there, is this what I was missing? Is the lack of TypeScript support the one that got me? No. Yeah, so we make it here. I keep adding a view transition name, the same view transition name to the whole document. And I don't know what else I could do. So I think this may be it. I guess one last thing to try. Answer quiz form. Once again, try to get document, get element by ID, quiz form, style, view transition name, form, quiz form. And then do the same thing with the event new document and see if that changes things at all. No, it still does the view transition normally, which doesn't make sense. If I were to put a transition name quiz here. I guess they're doing like more magic. If I overwrite with fade. Interesting. Alright, I don't think it's gonna help me in any case. Yeah, I think I need to move on from this. Like too much of a rabbit hole, and I can't figure it out. I think that there may be something that may change in the future as well, where in their eagerness, where they made forms also trigger view transitions, maybe they did something where you cannot override the form, or maybe there's something I'm missing. Like if I wanted to not trigger the view transitions in a specific form, maybe I need to say form enhance false or something. But I did try to have a look at the docs and couldn't find anything. So them's the breaks. Let's see if we can do something else before going on. I do think it looks like good enough now. If we were to go through it, we can use content collections. So now with Silence, they've provided me like this JSON file, this huge special JSON file, and it would be nice to render this in a better way, and also like to edit these questions for them to be like better. And yes, all the questions are not markdown. Which I thought they may be, but I guess they aren't. These would benefit from Markdown, like for the developments and stuff. But hey, I will try to use content collections for this and see where that gets us. Can I export a component from this? Maybe not. Can I export a component from Markdown in Astro? I don't know. But content collections. They're kinda like a CMS type of thing, where in Astro you have one special directory called content, and you can have all sorts of stuff in there. I do have MDX notes on the Svelte Learn live streams that I've done that I'll keep extending. But we can add one more for the Frontend quiz subjects here, and they may be nicer to read than what we had before. And my dream would be like for these answers to be more nicely rendered when they do contain JavaScript code, something like that. So let's see if we can transition this to be a different thing. But maybe we won't. Maybe I will leave that for for offline, because I'm not sure if there's like a huge benefit to doing this other than it's easier for me to edit, and maybe that's not as interesting to do. So maybe we'll just keep things the same and just call it a day, and I can get to editing the video. Did I really get 0 out of 10 correct? Yeah, it is bothering me how they are coming in, but hey, if I figure it out, I will let you know. But yeah, I think this is gonna be it for today. Stay tuned for the next video that should be coming over the weekend. I will keep editing it. And let me know what you'd like me to cover next. I think this ends this Frontend quiz app challenge from Frontend Mentor. I think they've added like another challenge recently, the FAQ accordion. And that may be another example where I don't really want to spin up a bespoke Svelte app just to show an accordion, but it would be neat to have an existing site and say, all right, to do this accordion with Svelte, this is how it's done, and here it is with React or whatever else as well. So if you want me to do one of those, let me know. If you want me to do like a Advent of Code type of challenge, also let me know. But as always, maybe I will do something bigger, maybe Stripe subscriptions again, Supabase, that sort of thing. Always on the table. Depends on what's inspiring me at the moment or what I'm working on elsewhere. I think we're gonna call it a short stream for now. Do play this game. I think over the weekend, taking breaks from editing, I may edit the questions to make them a bit more interesting, more valuable, and let me know if you like my design or the on-spec design best. Otherwise, I'm gonna wish you a lovely, lovely Friday and a lovely weekend, and I'm gonna catch you on, well, on video form on the weekend and on the next live stream on Tuesday. And as always, thanks a bunch for watching. I'll see you around.